Today we're taking LeBron James and Kevin Durant and swapping their NBA careers, which means for the entirety of their times in the NBA, they'll be switching places by playing for all of the others' teams. All starting off with Kevin Durant, who's heading to the Cavaliers in 2003 as LeBron's replacement, where he would immediately step in and dominate, averaging well over 20 points per game to win the Rookie of the Year. But while he's being crowned as a chosen one and face of his city, none of it would translate to team success. All we care about today are championships, and over KD's first few years, the Cavaliers as a unit wouldn't even get close to a finals appearance. So with all that being said, we're now already moving on to the 2008 season, where both he and LeBron's rivalry would officially begin, as LeBron would be drafted with the second pick to the Seattle Sonics as KD's replacement, where he too would immediately dominate to win the Rookie of the Year as well. But again, while being a prestigious rookie does have its benefits, it also usually means that your teammates aren't so great, as LBJ's Sonics would only win 30 games on the year to miss the playoffs entirely. So with all that being said, let's focus back on KD, who'd be having his best season yet, averaging almost 26 points and 7 boards to lead the Cavaliers to 66 wins as the 1 seed in the East. And with such a dominant season, it would be no surprise that the Cavaliers would be making a trip to Denver for the NBA Finals, now matching up with the Nuggets featuring Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson. So if you're a fan of scoring, this will definitely be the finals for you. But most importantly, it's the first of what's going to be several finals appearances for both KD and LeBron. So it's only right that we'll be tracking to see who wins more championships in the other's shoes, with our target score being 6 titles, which is a number fitting for any player trying to be the greatest ever. So with such lofty expectations, you already know that in Finals Appearance 1, KD would go toe-to-toe with Denver's elite scoring duo, with each team going back and forth to start the series off 2-2. But in Game 5 in his home gym, it would be KD pulling away and securing the momentum for the Cavs, as not only would he be out-dueling Melo and AI individually, but he'd also be carrying it over into the game's most important moments. Because with the Cavs down by 1 with 3 minutes to play, KD would have his number called, and it's safe to say that he would deliver. Game 5, 3 minutes left, 1-point lead for Denver. KD off a screen, fouled by Melo on a 3, it's good. But that wouldn't be the only huge shot that he'd be taking, as in the very next offensive possession, he would have another chance to make some noise. Kind of taking a long time, only 7 seconds left on the clock. Melo goes for the steal, KD hits another huge shot. So I'm sure you get the point. Game 5 would not only be a massive win for the Cavs to go up 3-2, but it would also be a chance to celebrate KD, who put up an all-time performance in the process. KD had to hit a couple more free throws at the very end of the game, but he had 50 points and 15 boards. And that is, in fact, a Cavaliers record. So he's going up 3-2 with a huge bang. And with a takeover like that, you already know that in the following game, KD would seal the deal, winning his first championship to go up 1-0 over LeBron in their race to 6. And while LeBron will have plenty of opportunities to win his own titles, right now it's KD who's at the top of the basketball world, now heading into the 2009 season looking to repeat. But before we see if he actually does, let's focus back on LeBron's progress, as he's up to 26 points and 7 assists for the newly relocated Oklahoma City Thunder, who are also adding the fiery intensity of Russell Westbrook to form one of the most athletic duos the league has ever seen. But while they look promising on paper, the Thunder roster as a whole is still incomplete. They're still waiting on one more player, and as a result, while they would make the playoffs, they wouldn't make that much noise. But with all that being said though, KD's season wouldn't be that much better. Yes, he is returning to the finals to defend his title, but now he's up against Kobe Bryant, who would thoroughly end his chances at a repeat, sending him home in 5 games. The Lakers won the championship in this season in real life too, so you can't really say it's a surprise. It was a good run for KD though. And that championship by Kobe would kick off a chain reaction that'll change the NBA forever. As while the 2010 season wouldn't see either LeBron or KD win a championship, it would be LeBron's Thunder making the most improvement with the addition of James Harden. But on the other end, KD wouldn't be so lucky, as the Cavs' best effort to get him some help would be a 37-year-old Shaquille O'Neal. So with his contract expiring and the team in no man's land, let's move on to 2011, where Kevin Durant will be saying goodbye to Cleveland to become the #1 villain in the history of the NBA.
At forward, 6'10", number 6, Kevin Durant.
As he's taking his talents to South Beach to play for the Heat and form a devastating trio with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Now creating a squad that's easily hateable for 29 other fan bases as the clear-cut favorite to win the championship in June. Kevin Durant, with his first MVP, just barely missed out on the double-double. He did get the 50-40-90 though, and there's going to be plenty of that going forward. And as far as that title goes, KD and the Heat would make it all the way to the finals, where to nobody's surprise, he'd be up against the runner-up to his MVP, that being LeBron James and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And not only is it the first matchup between KD and LeBron in the finals, but it's also going to be especially interesting considering how each team got here. As mentioned earlier, KD became the most hated player in the league for forming a super team.
He is dead to me.
While the OKC Thunder are loved by every NBA fan for building organically through the draft. But while their journeys to get here have been completely different, the destination is the same. Both are competing for the same NBA title, and all that really matters is the result. As at the end of the day, while anyone can say anything about the Heat's big three, they would be the ones in control of the series, starting it off with a 3-1 lead. If you're rooting for LeBron, you gotta root for a comeback, because KD's 1 win away from title #2. And while it's only a matter of time until LeBron wins a championship of his own, the 2011 NBA Finals would be another chapter in the story of Kevin Durant. While LeBron and the Thunder would steal a game, KD would be closing it out in Game 6 to win his second championship, now putting him 1/3 of the way to the target score. But with all that being said, we're still only at the start of both he and LeBron's rivalry, and there's still plenty of time for LeBron to bounce back. Cause entering 2012 with the King now up to averages of 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists, the Thunder would not only be the 1 seed in the Western Conference, but he'd also be walking away as a first-time MVP. LeBron James, number 35, with MVP number 1, and also that means that him and KD just went back-to-back as well. But not only would it be back-to-back MVPs, but it would also be back-to-back finals for both LeBron and KD, as they'd be squaring up yet again for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. With it this time being a series to remember for the Thunder. As with their experience from losing last year behind them and their all-around contributions from Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and of course King James, they would be able to extinguish KD and the Heat to win the title in 6 without much of a scare. LeBron with his first Finals MVP, he, Russ, Harden, they all have chips on the resume now. But most importantly though, now that he has a championship under his belt, our competition is only standing at 2-1. And with 3 dominant young players still with plenty of room to improve, the Thunder are now set up to be the championship favorites for multiple years to come. Or at least that's how it could have played out. As for the 2013 season, the Thunder would be trading James Harden to the Houston Rockets, a move that would eventually go down in infamy as Harden would evolve into an all-time great while OKC's title chances became significantly lower. While they would return to the finals, with LeBron coming off yet another MVP season, the issue that the Thunder have without Harden would finally reveal itself. It would all come down to basic math. Miami has all 3 of its stars, while OKC only has 2. Ultimately resulting in championship number 3 for Kevin Durant, who's now at the halfway point of our competition with a decade left to play. KD just won his 3rd championship, which means that if LeBron's gonna come back and win the competition, he's gonna have to come back from down 3-1, which is, you know, if you know, you know. And while it's not out of the possibility that he actually pulls it off, it's not going to be easy and it's going to take some time. As in the 2014 Western Conference Finals, LeBron and the Thunder would be sent home by Chris Paul and the LA Clippers in 5 games. But it doesn't end there though, as Chris Paul would continue his hot streak into the NBA Finals, where he would also take down KD and the Heat. So not only has he completed a historic playoff run to win his first championship, but he's also slamming the reset button on LeBron and KD's momentum. I'm not gonna lie, I think honestly Chris Paul just won his first championship on the channel. And you have to wonder, if CP3 was able to outshine our two stars, what would happen if there was someone even better? Well, for the 2015 season, it's time to find out. All starting with KD, who's on the move yet again, as he's leaving Miami to return to Cleveland and pair up with Kyrie Irving, now forming one of the most exciting scoring duos ever and the Eastern Conference's #1 seed. The only problem is, though, they're not the best team in the league, as they'd be overshadowed by a powerhouse out west and a brand new MVP, that being the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry, who would lead his team all the way to the finals against the new-look Cavs, where they would thoroughly knock them out with a sweep. So far, it doesn't seem like KD's up to the task of defeating him, and that's going to be far from the last time that Chef Curry affects our competition. So it's only right that 2016 would now be LeBron's turn to try to take down the NBA's newest superstar. And he might wind up faring even better than KD, as he would average a historic triple-double for this season to win his third MVP, now setting the Thunder up as the best possible opponent for Golden State. LBJ with yet another MVP. It remains to be seen if OKC can still win a chip, especially without Harden, but he does have Russ, so it might be enough. And that theory is going to be put to the test, because with the Thunder storming past the first couple rounds, they'd be staring down the defending champs and the reigning Finals MVP in the Western Conference Finals. The real challenge here is LeBron. He was kind of dealt a bad hand. He's going to have to take down Golden State. He basically has to win the NBA Finals before making it to the NBA Finals. And while our competition is about to hit a crucial point, the most chaotic parts are still to come, including a couple of team changes, a stadium change, and a couple of important Game 7s that will seriously affect our competition. But for now, let's focus in on our duel between Steph Curry and LeBron, with each dominating in completely different ways to start the series off 1-1. But while the series is tied up for now, one player would be walking away with a massive advantage, as both Game 3 and 4 would be played in Oklahoma City, and with such a rowdy crowd, it would be enough to slow down Steph Curry just a little bit, resulting in a 3-1 lead for the Thunder and LeBron. It might be time to celebrate in OKC, and we also might seriously be on the brink of a legendary LeBron season, as in real life, KD's Thunder also went up 3-1 on the 2016 Warriors, but wound up losing the following 3 games to be eliminated in 7, which makes it even more impressive that in KD's place, LeBron would be changing history as the one to hold on to the lead to send the Warriors home. And while Steph Curry will make another important appearance in this competition later on, right now the focus has to be placed on King James, who's now advancing to the finals for his 4th showdown with Kevin Durant. We now have matchup number 4 between LeBron and KD in the finals. Obviously, for both of them, it means a lot, but for LeBron, it means even more, as matchup number 4 between LeBron and KD would be significantly different than the prior 3, as while those finals wouldn't be particularly close, with each series ending around 5 games, this one would take a lot more to decide a champion, with each star playing at their very best and each team alternating wins all the way to a 3-3 tie. Which means that the 2016 NBA Finals is going to Game 7. LeBron and KD's rivalry has hit a breaking point. This could be the difference between a 4-1 lead for KD or just a 3-2 deficit for LeBron. And with so much on the line, it should be to nobody's surprise that this one would be the final back and forth of the year for LeBron and KD. And when you combine it with the insane point guard duel between Westbrook and Kyrie, it should be no surprise that the season's final game would go down to the final couple minutes, as we'd see a close game with Cleveland barely holding on to a 7-point lead with 4 minutes to play. And I say barely because while on the surface it may seem like they're in control, with such a potent duo on the other side, the championship is far from being decided. 4 minutes left to play, Cleveland up by 7. It's definitely not over yet for OKC. That's plenty of time. Westbrook with a wild shot. It's good. Westbrook taking a crazy, questionable shot, but he made it. Here we go. The handoff to J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith with the ball. KD, running the play for KD. Or no, they're not. They ran it for Kevin Love. KD spotting up on the wing. Kevin Love with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Has to get KD to bail him out. The fadeaway over LeBron. It's off. OKC with a chance to erase that 7-point lead. Robertson with the ball. Robertson, I know he's not about to shoot it. Steven Adams over to LBJ. LBJ with a pass over to Westbrook. It looks like Westbrook's about to take the shot. He gets the screen from Adams. Wide open from the mid-range. He gets all the way to the basket, makes the floater. OKC has made the comeback. It's only a 2-point game. Kyrie with the ball. How will Cleveland respond? KD is standing in the corner. He missed a shot on the last possession. Kevin Love, great defense by Ibaka. OKC gets a huge stop. They pass it over to LeBron. LeBron with the ball, driving. Good defense by Kevin Love. LeBron to the basket. It's off. He's in position for the board, but Kevin Love gets it anyways. Here we go. 2-point lead. 2:35 left. J.R. Smith with the ball. Over to Kyrie. Over to KD. KD being guarded by Ibaka. Gets the screen by J.R. Smith. Driving to the basket. The layup's up, and it's good. KD with 37 points on the game if you look at the bottom right. The simulation has been very kind to him. They're running a play for Robertson. I don't know what's going on. That has to be a decoy. Here we go. Westbrook with the ball. They're not passing it over to LeBron. Westbrook pulls up. He's hit his second. Oh my God. Westbrook with 2 huge threes in the clutch. Here we go. JR with the ball. They're about to pass it down to KD. Oh, he does not pass it down to KD, but he... Oh my God. The shot making on display. I don't know what's going on right now. Really questionable shot from... Oh my God. No way. Westbrook just hit 3 threes in the past 3 minutes. OKC is still alive. 1:45 left. KD driving left on LeBron. LeBron trying to get a clutch stop. They send a double off of Kyrie. He smokes it. Tristan Thompson with the most important rebound putback of his entire life. OKC has to respond. LeBron is standing in the corner. Westbrook has the hot hand. Westbrook looking for his 4th three. It's off. Adams almost had the rebound. Here we go. KD with the pass over to Kyrie. The long 2. It's not over yet for OKC. Definitely not. But that was not what you want to see if you're rooting for him. Here we go. Westbrook to the basket. Draws the foul. It's 2016. So Westbrook was still a good free throw shooter back then. He made the first. The second is up. And the second is off. I jinxed it. Westbrook, who was sitting around 84% in real life around this time, 80-something% for sure, he smokes a second free throw after hitting 3 huge threes in the clutch. Here we go. KD with a chance to hit the shot over Westbrook. Pump fake. Kicks it out to Kevin Love. They pass it back to him. The pull-up. It's good. And that may be it. OKC called a timeout, inbounded the ball, wasted a couple seconds, and called another timeout. So there's now 43 seconds left on the clock. The long pass to Westbrook. He passes up on the 3. He drives to the basket, dunks on Kyrie. The game's not over yet, though. 4-point game. It remains to be seen if they're going to foul, and they do. Kyrie made the first free throw. Second free throw's up. OKC's going to have to make something out of nothing here. They're not calling a timeout. 36 seconds, down by 6. They're running the play for nobody. Westbrook's going to take a long 2, and he hits it. It's still not over yet. I've seen crazier comebacks in the jump-ins. Although they do pass it over to KD, so he could seal it at the line. The Durantula with the first free throw. It's up, and it's in. 29.5 on the clock. Second free throw's also in. That might have just sealed it. OKC's calling their last timeout. They cut it down to 2 at one point, but Cleveland, they went on a run at the best possible time. Here we go. The pass over to Robertson. The pass over to Westbrook. Westbrook's going to launch a 3. He's fouled. He hits the shot. If he hits the free throw, it's not over. He missed the free throw earlier, but he might make this one. Here we go. Yeah, he's not going to miss 2 in the clutch. OKC's going to have to foul. The ball finds J.R. Smith instead of KD or Kyrie. He might actually miss one because J.R., he's been up and down throughout his career from the line. First free throw, he does make it. The most important shot of the season is in his hands. Here we go. Second free throw to make it a 4-point game with no timeouts for OKC. It's off. LeBron with the ball. LeBron walking it up over to Westbrook. Westbrook driving to the basket. Westbrook takes a crazy shot. OKC had a chance, and I don't know why he would take that shot. He didn't even try to take a 3. That's probably gonna do it. Ibaka's gonna launch one, but this one's over. Cleveland's going to win the championship, which now gives Kevin Durant title number 4 of his prestigious career, as well as put him only a couple championships away from the target score. And while it was far from easy and it took a brutal 7 games to do it, both he and Kyrie are walking away with all of the momentum in the world to run it back next year. To be honest, once I saw J.R. Smith miss the free throw, I thought OKC had it. They were going to tie the game up. Westbrook did a lot to get them back in the game, and at the very end. However, while LeBron is down 4-1, this competition is far from over. As now entering the 2017 season, with his contract expired and his time in OKC over, he's about to change the NBA forever.
Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar.
You get no respect, dude.
Let's go. Rip it. Trash.
I just wish he had stayed in Oklahoma City.
Small forward, 6'9", number 35, LeBron James.
So just like that, LeBron is now a member of the Golden State Warriors, now pairing up with Steph Curry while also becoming the #1 villain in the history of the NBA. And that's worth mentioning since it was KD who was playing that role earlier on in Miami, but now of course it's all been reversed. As Durant is the beloved star playing for his drafted team, and LeBron is now being hated, along with Steph Curry, for being the clear-cut favorite to not just win the title this year, but for his entire time in the Bay. As in a flash, LeBron and Steph are walking away as the 2017 champs, taking down none other than Kevin Durant and his Cavaliers in the process to give him title #2 of our competition. But there's still way more to cover, because now entering 2018, they would continue where they left off, by winning an NBA record 75 games in the regular season. And with such an outrageous amount of success, to nobody's surprise, they'd be right back in the finals, where to keep it short, they dispatch KD and the Cavs yet again, LeBron's 3rd title. And with one more season to run it up with Steph, he has a great chance to tie it up, which is exactly what he would do entering 2019. As with KD now out west after joining the Lakers, they'd have another opponent to take down in the finals. That being the Milwaukee Bucks, who would put up a better fight than KD's Cavs, but ultimately it wouldn't be enough. This one is ending with LeBron and Steph's 3rd straight title, now giving us a 4-4 tie as we enter the final stretch of their careers. But as we enter a brand new decade, it would bring a plethora of changes for both our stars that'll change the NBA forever. As in 2020, KD will now be firmly back in title contention with the arrival of Anthony Davis, now giving KD his co-star to form what could be an all-time duo. However, it's still not going to be that easy, as LeBron will be on the move yet again, now partnering up with KD's former teammate Kyrie Irving, now forming a dynamic duo on the Brooklyn Nets, which we all know has the potential to be one of the best ever. So with both teams so stacked on star power, it's pretty much inevitable that KD and LeBron would be meeting in the NBA Finals for the first time in a couple years. Although it's going to be in a completely different venue. Whatever you think about the bubble, the championship counts towards our competition. However, as with any finals matchup, there are going to be some important questions that have to be answered on the side. And for this one, it'll be focused on LeBron, who left Steph Curry and the Warriors right after a three-peat. So you have to wonder if that's something that may come back to bite him in the end. As when the finals would kick off, the KD and AD duo would be as dominant as they were in the regular season, with 2 future Hall of Famers putting up Hall of Fame performances to go up 3-1. But despite all of the noise and the deficit, LeBron and Kyrie are future Hall of Famers as well, so don't press the panic button just yet. Cause in games 5 and 6, they would make the comeback and reverse the pressure back on KD, who's now on the brink of blowing a 3-1 lead in the finals, as this one is going to game 7. Credit to LeBron and Kyrie, of course, for making the comeback, but KD loses. He blows his 3-1 lead. He's not going to be able to live that down. And just as it was in their last Game 7 4 years ago, this one would be extremely close, although it would look extremely different, as KD would have a somewhat average game for his standards, with the player keeping the Lakers afloat being none other than Anthony Davis, who would carry an absolutely dominant two-way performance into the final moments of the game. With the Lakers down by 3 with 5 minutes to play, he would be the one setting the table for a potential Game 7 comeback. Here we go, 5 minutes left. NBA Finals Game 7 2020. LeBron's gonna fire a contested shot over AD, it's off. Rebounded by Howard, over to KD, over to AD, AD to the basket, and one. And a few possessions later, with 4 minutes to play and the Lakers now down by 2, it would be AD getting the ball with a chance to tie up the game. Rondo over to AD. AD, it looks like maybe, I don't know, he's driving to the basket. The pass out to Caruso. Looks like it's going to be the AD show. Offensive rebound. Caruso's still wide open, but AD, the short jumper's good. We have a tie game. And I'm sure you get the point. While KD is obviously the best player on the team, the Lakers would be relying on his sidekick down the stretch. They are not involving him right now. The pass down to AD in the paint from Rondo. It's off. Jared Dudley with the defense. Steal by AD. AD with the layup. It's up and it's in. It's good and one. So now that you have all the context needed to understand the flow of the game, let's just focus in on the final minute of Game 7, where the Lakers would be up by just 2 points, Brooklyn in possession of the ball, and the championship now moments away. On paper, it's a Nets home game, but it's a neutral crowd, and there is no crowd. LeBron blocked by Davis. Anthony Davis is taking over down the stretch. Here we go, 14 seconds left. What a defensive stop by AD. Here we go. LeBron to the basket, the pump fake, draws the foul on KD though. LeBron bounces back at the best possible time after the block. The first free throw is good. 46.5 left. LeBron's second free throw, we have a tie game. No team is pulling ahead. LA just called a timeout. Will KD actually make a field goal? He hasn't had one in the past couple minutes. That's the story. Here we go. KD on the ISO. Driving to the basket, the spin move. It's good. LeBron tried to take a charge. Why would he do that in this situation? KD finally takes the lid off the basket. Brooklyn just called a timeout. 2-point lead for LA. The lob down to LeBron. They score in absolutely no time. What is happening? We may be looking at the best Game 7 ever. Here we go. KD being guarded by LeBron, driving left. The pull-up over Allen. He's not even he is taking shots early in the shot clock, and it's working out. Here we go. 2-point lead. Brooklyn's going to call a timeout. They're going to draw up a play. Both teams are absolutely firing early in the shot clock the past couple possessions. Here we go. The pass over to LeBron. They can throw it into the backcourt off a timeout. Here we go. LeBron driving to the basket. AD's right there. Dudley's going to try to be a hero, blocked by Davis. Rondo with the rebound. Why aren't they fouling? Okay, they fouled Rondo. Rondo might miss one. If there was anyone for Brooklyn to foul, it was going to be him. I don't really know the percentage off the top of my head. I do know he's had some seasons where he was at like 50-something%. Rondo makes a second free throw though. Brooklyn does not have a timeout. 14 seconds left on the clock. Will it be LeBron? Will it be Kyrie? LeBron, he's gonna fire it. It's off, rebounded by Davis. LeBron with a deep three over KD. He went for the home run. AD's going to miss the free throw though. I don't know what kind of shot that was. It's now a 4-point game for LA. And Brooklyn does not have a timeout, so they're gonna have to do something quick. Here we go, LeBron with the ball. Pass over to Kyrie. Kyrie deep three. It's not gonna matter. Rebounded by JaVale, and the LA Lakers are the 2020 NBA champions. Which now puts KD right back on the board with his 5th title. Now just one away from hitting our target score of 6 to end our competition once and for all. But with all that being said, there's still much more work to be done and way more roster moves on the way, as the Nets would respond to their finals loss by trading for James Harden, one of LeBron's former teammates out in OKC. And that might be a good omen for the franchise, as the last time those two shared the court together, they won a title, which will be especially important since for the 8th time, LeBron and KD would be matching up in the finals, and for a 3rd time, it's going to Game 7. So with the 5 combined All-Stars on each team and the intensity that this kind of situation requires, it should be no surprise that we would see a tie game with 3 minutes to play. And just as a reminder, if KD and the Lakers come out on top here, this one is over and he's won the challenge with title number 6. But on the other end, if LeBron is able to take over these last few minutes and win title number 5, he'll not only tie up our competition, but be the favorite to win it all. As you have to remember that he's the younger out of the 2 stars, and there's still one more super team that he can join. But all in all, the only way to find out is by watching the final few minutes, where in the end, one will finally be crowned as a champion. Here we go, NBA Finals Game 7, 3 minutes to play. 2021. Kyrie driving to the basket, has the open lane, and one. Kyrie with a huge and one to give LA or Brooklyn a 2-point lead. Now they're up by 3. Game 7. KD with the ball, being guarded by LeBron. Both of them are really old to this point, but they're still competing. Here we go. KD on the ISO. The pick and roll, nothing happened. KD with a pump fake, over to KCP, over to Caruso. Caruso is wide open. It's off. Rebounded by Jordan. Over to LeBron, over to Harden. Harden and LeBron with some unfinished business from OKC. Harden driving on Caruso. Good defense, though. Harden almost out of bounds. Stripped by Caruso. Bald Eagle with the steal. Here we go. The pass over to KCP. KCP, wide open lane. Short jumper. It's off. Rebounded by Davis. He was wide open. He kicked it out. Danny Green's gonna fire it. It's good. I was not expecting him to shoot it. That's kind of why I went silent there for a second. Here we go. Kyrie with the ball. Kyrie with the screen by Jordan. Kyrie with a pull-up at the elbow. Not really the elbow, but the mid-range, it's in. And now it's KD with the ball being guarded by LeBron. The screen by AD. 14 seconds on the clock. KD pulls up from 3, contested. It's also good. Both teams are going back-to-back. Kyrie with the ball in the mid-range area. Kyrie in traffic, being guarded by a lot of people. The pass back to Kyrie. LeBron is standing in the corner watching Kyrie isolate. That's not really a bad idea, though, because Kyrie scores. He gets all the way to the basket on KCP, who is a really good defender. Big-time players make big-time plays. Shout out to Stacey King. The pass out to Danny Green, wide open. His second huge 3 of the past couple minutes. It's 4 a.m. and we are witnessing a masterclass. Here we go. Kyrie to the basket. It's in. It almost rims out. We have yet another tie game. The past couple finals have been a bloodbath. Both teams throwing their best punch. KD on the ISO, being guarded by LeBron. Fantastic defense by LeBron. The lob down to AD and the foul. That is actually crazy that DeAndre Jordan's on the floor right now. He's about 55. AD hits the free throw. It's a 3-point game for LA. All right, if you've done enough simulations, you'll know what I'm talking about, but Brooklyn called a timeout, inbounded it, and called another timeout. So that's why there's 23 seconds on the shot clock, and they only have one more for the rest of the game. Here we go, though. Kyrie with the ball, top of the key. LeBron on the low block. Looks like Kyrie's about to take the shot, though. It's been working out for the shortest jumper. I don't know what that was, but it worked. Kyrie can make any shot, even the ones that are really ugly, because wow, I don't know why you would take a jumper from that angle, from that distance. Here we go. KCP with the ball coming up off a screen. KD is on the wing. The pass over, the handoff. Pump fake by KD. Was that a double dribble? What was that? The spin jumper in the lane. It's in. Was that a double dribble? I'm still in shock. Did I see that right? Or is it really just because I'm up at 4 a.m.? I thought he double dribbled, but here we go. The pass into Kyrie. What kind of play did Brooklyn drop in the timeout? Good defense by KCP. Kyrie almost steps out of bounds. The half spin, the kick out. LeBron is wide open with some space. He ties it up. And just like that, LA would call a timeout with 6.6 seconds left. And with such an important possession, you gotta think that it's gonna come down to the 2 stars on both teams. KD has a chance to score a potential game-winning bucket, while LeBron will be the one trying to stop him and keep the competition alive. Some drama down the stretch in Game 7. NBA Finals, Game 7, 6 seconds left on the ISO. KD to the basket, short jumper, it's good. 0.6 on the clock. That might be it, unless Kyrie with a miracle shot, it's almost in.
The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles.
Which means that after almost 2 decades in the league, from Cleveland out to Miami, back to Cleveland, and out to LA, KD has now just won yet another title to give him 6 in total and officially win our challenge. Shout out to LeBron though, because his resume is also insane. But in the end, and literally in LeBron's shoes, it's Kevin Durant who's ultimately walking away as the greatest of all time.
The LA Lakers, the NBA champions.